Derek Carr cried so much last week that Russell Wilson tried to visit him in the hospital. Well, I hope Derek Carr returns the favor since Russ will be crying all of this week. Welcome back to hell, Broncos fans. We are now officially at the new worst game ever. 3 times this season, Denver jumps out to a 10-0 lead, and all 3 times they lose. Josh McDaniels, say what you want, but he's an elite coach at helping the Broncos lose. In fact, I can see him in the Hall of Fame one day. That's right, with a bust. And right next to him, a bust of Melvin Gordon, and the stat reads, 2 men who are more responsible for Broncos losses than anyone else in human history. Oh, we got a Melvin Gordon fumble returning in the new worst game ever. That's good. Stop! Ooh. Hey, it's Turkey Week, and for the Black Friday sale, we'll be dropping the 8-bit Broncos helmet shirts, because Broncos fans should have at least one nice thing this season. BenchwarmerBrew.com, that's my coffee company. We'll be doing a Black Friday sale. Buy one, get one 50% off. Whatever. Just go there, please, God. Nothing else goes right. Why should my business work too? How bad is it watching Broncos football? It's like knowing you're dying, that you're gonna die. Like your guts are already spilled out over your dead horse because you're on battle and it's the 1500s for some reason. And right before you die, out of nowhere for no reason, your wife comes up to tell you she's also been cheating on you. And then you die. That's what it's like to watch Broncos football this season. Pain followed by embarrassment, followed by shame, followed by more fucking pain, man.
Sorry for being emotional.
The Broncos, with Josh McDaniels as their coach, started out 6-0. The Broncos are now 0-6 to the Raiders over the last 3 years with Josh McDaniels as their head coach. In the battle for the suck, no team actually walks away a winner, despite what that stupid scoreboard will tell you. And this was a game where both teams did not win. The Raiders just did not win a little better than the Broncos. Now, if you enjoy such activities as watching paint dry, standing in line at the DMV to take care of an issue you could have solved online or over the phone, and not being able to find your car keys, well, this NFL game is for you. Over 3.5 hours of our life have been permanently deleted, all because of good defense and atrocious offense with mistakes all along the way. A nightmare that never ends. That's how I describe Broncos football. It's like being awake during open heart surgery, but the doctors don't notice, and you can't scream because of the anesthesia. You go into surgery knowing it's gonna be bad, and you walk away. No, you definitely don't walk away. You leave hobbling, asking, how could it have been even worse than I expected when I expected 4 straight hours of having every inch of my chest excavated? Oh, you want me to get to the game? You want me to talk about what happened in this stupid game? Fine, you asked for it. Head coach Nathaniel Hackett, in a last-ditch effort to save his job, relinquished play-calling duties to Clint Kubiak, son of Super Bowl champion head coach Gary Kubiak. This is a move I liked, and early on, it felt like it was working. Russ came out getting a first down on his first throw, and we rejoiced, yelling, give Clint Kubiak a 10-year extension as offensive coordinator now. Russ hits Greg Dulcich, Cortland Sutton, and then Hall of Fame quarterback turned wideout Kendall Hinton breaks a tackle and nearly scores a touchdown. It looked like a touchdown. We thought it was a touchdown, but the NFL referees reviewed the play because even they don't believe that the Broncos are going to score a touchdown that easily. Part of me thinks this is a collective effort to make sure Russell Wilson's stats look worse, even worse than the way he plays. Everybody hates Russ for some reason. That's the only explanation. The TD was overturned, and Latavius Murray scores a 1-yard touchdown on the next play, and for a bit, we felt confident. And for a bit, I mean the commercial break, because that's when Groundhog Day for Broncos fans resumed. But instead of Bill Murray, the charming Bill Murray, we get Pauly Shore to live out the same horrible game with. Here's a fun example of how bad both of these teams are. 3.5 minutes left in the half, Russell Wilson pulls off a miracle pass to Melvin Gordon. It's an unbelievable play to keep the drive alive, but just a play later, it's negated by a dumb crackback block from Cortland Sutton after Greg Dulcich converted a 3rd and 4 for a lovely gain. Good, followed by bad. And how do the Raiders capitalize on it? Well, by gifting the Broncos a first down with a late hit on Russell Wilson. It was the only wrong thing Max Crosby did all day. Mad Max. Fitting nickname because just like Mel Gibson, he makes everybody fucking mad. In the 3rd quarter, Derek Carr is gifted a second chance after Josie Jewell drops this interception. Nearly an amazing play by Jewell, but these hands are stone, I know. They are not yours, they are my own. However, Davante Adams gets flagged on that play for unsportsmanlike conduct because he kept yelling at the ref. God, I wish that ref was holding a boom mic so Adams would have instinctually just pushed him to the ground and got ejected. Heading into the game, the Broncos needed a plan for Josh Jacobs, Davante Adams, and Max Crosby, and they had none for any of those guys. Now, even though the Raiders won, it wasn't going to be easy for them. Like Denver, everything that normally works stops because that's what happens in games like these. And kicker Daniel Midnight Cowboy Carlson misses a 46-yard field goal. He had made 41 straight up to that point, so he robbed himself of a chance at making kicker history. Now, after Josh Jacobs chipped away at the Broncos defense like a sculptor, Derek Carr threw a dime, and I mean a dime, to Davante Adams for a 31-yard touchdown. I'm not going to bitch about it or try and spin this as a horrible play, as it was just good football from the Raiders. But should I do that, it should have been a delay of game. Not by the NFL rule though, because the NFL rule says whenever an official can fuck your team, they shall fuck your team. That's what happened here. The clock does hit 0, but we know that NFL officials are allowed to have a second to look at 0-0 and then see if the ball's gonna, it's something they can do. You can have 0-0. After that touchdown, there were only field goals by these torturous teams. The Raiders tied it at 10 in the 3rd quarter. Denver snuck a long field goal down the gooch, courtesy of Brandon McManus, who may have actually been the guy who cursed the Broncos, ensuring that he'd be the team's only offensive weapon since 2014. That's when the Broncos clung to a 13 lead for what felt like hours. They clung to that like I clung to the idea that I could keep growing tall until I was 30. The end result, though, was ultimately the same. It didn't happen, and nobody wants to have sex with you. Now, the Raiders tied the game at 16 late with a field goal. As soon as the Broncos scored 16 points, though, I knew that they would lose. I said it during the live stream that no matter what happens from this point on, they're going to lose. That number is cursed, and it kills the Broncos every time. It's no longer a joke. It's a fact. It's the worst, dumbest curse in sports, and it works every time. In fact, the Broncos let the Raiders tie the game at 16 with 16 seconds left on the clock. An obvious sign that the devil is at work here. Just connect those three, it looks self-explanatory. Here's what makes this an all-time horrible loss for the Broncos, though. They had a 16-13 lead with less than 3 minutes left in the game and got a massive 12-yard run from Latavius Murray. One more first down and they win the game. We know that's not happening, though, so after the Raiders stuff them on back-to-back runs and get through the 2-minute warning, the Broncos decide to throw the ball on 3rd down, which I get. You want to get a first down in the game. But they choose to throw instead of taking time off the clock with a run. Russell Wilson chooses to throw the ball away instead of taking a sack for the first time all game, even though we could have run like 39 seconds off the clock or just ran and slid. Our team is so ass backwards that we can't even take a sack when it helps us. In the final 5 minutes of the game, Denver takes the lead, stops the Raiders on an amazing pass defended by Damari Mathis, gets a first down within 3 minutes, while the Raiders only have one timeout left and still lose. And I don't know why Russ dirts this ball. It looks like he could have given his guy a chance to catch it there, or again, take the self-sack and hope you get a roughing call like Taylor Heineke. He put the blueprint out there. Anything but this. And that's when Broncos killer Josh Jacobs got open, took the ball down to the 7-yard line to play. He knew was too easy, which is why he tried to give the Broncos an interception on the following couple plays when he let the ball bounce off his face, only so it could bounce off the Broncos' hand, only so it could bounce off his fucking face again, only so Denver could not intercept it. This play is the representation of Josh McDaniels and Nathaniel Hackett coaching their teams to not win this season. It looks so dumb. On game day, you have no real way to explain it. You win, no, you win, no, you win, no, you win. How about we both just tie and see what happens in overtime? Raiders kick the field goal, and then they did. They won it in overtime in heartbreaking fashion as the Broncos defense suddenly let them do whatever they want. The Raiders ran 3 plays in OT. A stuffed run, and then a giant gain, and then the final widest open touchdown Davante Adams has ever seen. That touchdown was so wide open, you could have put Aaron Rodgers' ego inside the separation he had. Where the fuck is Hunter Renfrow to tackle Davante Adams when you need him? Worst of all, we didn't even have Garrett Bowles in the game with the heart of a lion to try and chase him down and flop dive after him. There were 3 bad plays from the Broncos skill players that really cost them this game, none of which were Russ's fault. This all too predictable Courtland Sutton drop on 3rd down, bad. He catches everything he shouldn't and drops everything I could catch. Kendall Hinton also dropped this home run ball Russ puts right into his hands deep on a free play. Now, I'm not gonna knock Hinton much because we all love him, but this is a touchdown if he just catches it. And finally, every opposing team's favorite Bronco, Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon from inside the 10 on 3rd and 1, picks up the first down, nearly scores, and say it with me, fumbles the ball. Denver is lucky enough to recover that fumble, but the curse of the Gordon fumble is so strong that it causes the Broncos to have their chip shot field goal blocked. A 26-yard field goal blocked by Max Crosby, who single-handedly stopped the Broncos on the defensive side from winning this game. He was a wrecker. He caused the fumble and blocked the field goal, saving his team 6 points and then 3 points on back-to-back plays. We should honestly send him to Washington to fix the economy. A guy that good with numbers and magic could make us all millionaires. Also, if he went to Washington, I'd never have to see his stupid face ruin my chances at winning again. Now, I thought Melvin Gordon may have been the first player fired at halftime after that fumble. I thought that could happen. I thought the Hall of Fame might remove John Elway from the Hall for bringing Melvin Gordon onto this team. That's how bad the fumble was. The Broncos should be arrested for enabling Melvin Gordon because he's like an alcoholic who they keep taking to the bar and expecting different results. And then you let him crash on your couch and you're shocked when you wake up and all of your most valuable possessions are gone. In this case, though, those possessions are wins. He's a thief of wins. And along with the Broncos, should be in jail with Pat Shurmur. Everybody should be in jail with Pat Shurmur. That's my opinion. The saddest part is Josh McDaniels and Nathaniel Hackett were coaching for their job, their career. And this is the best they could put together. Raiders fans, let me tell you, enjoy this win because you will lose most of the rest of your games if you keep playing like this. 66% of Josh McDaniels' wins this season have come against the Broncos, so you're welcome, Raiders fans. And thanks for watching the new worst game ever. Make sure you subscribe here on YouTube. I'm actually going to have another worst game ever, the Jets and Patriots, and then best and worst on Monday. So come back and check those out tomorrow morning, afternoon. Won't be in the morning, afternoon.